Hello everybody, Christy Esice here in the Phoenix, Arizona area. I wanted to pop on today and give you guys an update about what's going on in the Phoenix metro area's new home housing market. Now that was a mouthful, but I really wanted to give you guys an update. I did one about 4 months ago, but there's been some things that have shifted and changed, and I really want to make sure that you guys are the first to know about what is going on. So before we get started, can you guys go ahead and hit the subscribe button? That would be super helpful for me and you, because you will get first notified about everything that is going on this channel. Of course, hit the notification bell, and if you wouldn't mind hitting the like button, that would be super helpful as well. So without further ado, here we go. All right, guys, so what we're seeing here in the Phoenix metro area is that it's just still such a hot market. We're having multiple people moving in from multiple different states, and we are just getting bombarded with population here. And so it's become essentially a seller's market. You know, we're having multiple offers still going in on properties. I would say it might have slowed a little bit through the holidays, but I think that's just mainly because most people really didn't want to move during the holidays. But now, beginning of January here of 2021, we're seeing another big spike and a lot of people resurfacing that kind of went quiet through the holidays. But in the new home housing market, that's the same. There's not enough inventory. There's a huge demand, not enough supply. So what we've been seeing is that prices have been going up pretty exponentially, not just in the resale, but in the new home housing market as well. It hasn't been unnatural for, new builders to tell me, oh, we have a $10,000 price increase next week. We have a $5,000 price increase next week. And so that's really if you're working with me, that's my job. But if you're working with another agent, that's their job to make sure they stay on top of those things. Because if you plan on going on Saturday to lock in a contract, and it's Monday and they're telling you Wednesday there's going to be a $5,000 price increase, guess what? You're going to want to get there by Wednesday. To be in your best interest, because guess what? If you lock in on Tuesday or Wednesday morning, you're going to immediately walk into $5,000 in equity on that property. So it's very important that your agent stays in direct communication with those builder agents and is very full aware of what's going on and what the situation is. We've also seen price increases because lumber costs have gone up so much. Lumber pricing has just went up so huge that it's almost to a point where there's no supply of that. So it has slowed construction, and homes that are typically taking 6 to 7 months are taking 8 to 10 to build. So it's caused some rifts in the production of building, and of course has caused a lot of, not a lot, it's not every builder, but there's been some clients that their closing date has been pushed back quite a bit, and it's, caused some problems. So just keep that in mind. Now, that's another thing that an agent should always do, is get an estimated build time when you lock your contract. It used to be most builders were anywhere from 6 to 7 months, but what we're seeing now on a grander scale here in the Phoenix Metro is to expect a 7 to 10 month build time. 7 is being very optimistic at this point. So if you're looking and you're thinking, hey, I want to move to Phoenix, and I'm about a year out before I want to move and I really want to buy a new home, guess what? You should probably start kind of thinking about it a year ahead of time, getting kind of your feet wet a little bit on what's out there, what's available, and what you kind of are looking for. So if you lock your contract in 3 months, that gives you a 9-month build time. So that's just a little bit of word of advice on that. But sorry, I'm a little uncomfortable in my chair. But moving forward, so we're seeing, huge demand, limited supply, lumber costs have gone up. That plus the coupling of the demand has just drove prices through the roof. A lot of builders have now removed some of their incentives that they had been offering. So there's a particular builder that will no longer provide closing costs if you use even if you use their preferred lender. They took away the closing cost, and their reasoning for it was our homes sell without it anyway. So that was their answer to me. But then there's other builders that used to include all appliances that are now, and when I say all appliances, that's the refrigerator, washer, and dryer. The other appliances in the kitchen are always included. But they've chosen to no longer include those those appliances because there was a shortage of those through the whole COVID pandemic as well. And so they had a point where they couldn't even get those appliances, and it would delay closings on homes. You couldn't close the home because you didn't have the appliances in it that you told them were going to be in it. So they have removed a lot of that as an incentive. The other thing that I have been seeing is particular builders that may have included everything, appliances, blinds, things of that nature. And they say, oh, it comes with this tile, it is what it is. You get what you get. They've been running out of supply too. So I've had them contact me on a couple of different clients and said, hey, I know our normal standard is a 20 by 20 tile, but these particular clients are actually getting a wood plank tile, which is a huge upgrade. Because we ran out of tile, we had no other option. And so we're seeing the whole COVID thing kind of play its part in lack of supply for these builders, and having it, it's harder to get what they need to do the production on these homes. But with that being said, I haven't seen it slow down. I haven't seen the demand slow down. Maybe a hair through the holidays, but that's just because people are with their families. And we're still seeing right now, majority of the builders have turned to what they're calling a lottery situation. And so that just means there's multiple people wanting a lot and they don't have enough. And so what do? They draw names out of a hat. And their lotteries are typically, twice a month. Some of them are only once a month. And some of them only release 3 to 5 lots a month. I checked in with a particular builder and they had a 70-person wait list. That's just insane to me. But that doesn't mean that your options are you don't have options. There's definitely still options out there, but I'm just giving you the reality of what's going on out here in the new home housing market. Now, like I've said in my other videos, there's, homes, builders and homes that go from one end to the other. I mean, you could go to a high production builder that is kind of more of a tract build, that is an all-included, very base home, all the way up to a custom builder. So there's kind of differences in all of that. However, what we're seeing is just there's lotteries and there's a waiting list for things going on, and you kind of have to get the luck of the draw. And on some of these communities, not all of them. However, there are communities that still do take a first come, first serve. And even if you're on a interest list, they call down the line. And if you don't pick up the phone or you don't respond to them before the 20 other people get to the door, guess what? You're out. So it's definitely come to be a very competitive market. And that's why it's very, very important, if you are looking to get a new construction home, that you really, really go with somebody that knows what they're doing. And that doesn't need to be me. If you don't think that our personalities would jive, totally find another agent that you feel that you are going to jive with. But it's extremely important to work with somebody that knows new construction, knows the way the build process works, understands the market, and can kind of mash everything together. Because working with a new construction home and working with resale homes are completely different. And I know a lot of agents will tell you that it's not, but it is. It's extremely different. The process is different. The expectations are different. Incentives are different. There's just a whole different process. So really, you need to work with somebody that knows what they're doing and is very communicative, not only to you, but to the build side, because it's very important that they stay in direct communication with them all throughout the timeline in the process. And if there's hiccups or things like that, you know that you have a resource and they're going to handle it. So again, there's homes in pretty much every budget from probably 250 plus. Now 250 is getting very, very difficult. I would say 300,000 and up, you can still get into a brand new home. There's still some options in the twos, but it's getting fewer and far between. Now I know a year ago, I was still able to get people into homes in the very, very low 200s. So you can tell in the last 12 months how much our home sales prices have grown. It's tripping on my words. Sorry about that. And you can just tell, if you've been watching the market here, you know what's going on. So if you're looking to move to the Phoenix metro area and you would love to get into a brand new home, the perk to that is that instead of going into a bidding war with a resale property, if we find you something, you put your earnest deposit down and that's it. You're not fighting and doing multiple offer scenarios. That's not what happens with new construction. So that's a perk. And the other thing too is, I make phone calls. There's people that fall out of contract where a newer home might come available. And, it takes somebody on the phone constantly calling and checking in. Hey, did anybody fall out of contract? Do you have a quick move-in home available? Things of that nature. And those opportunities come up more than you would think. So that's also an option. But yeah, you wouldn't be fighting with multiple offer scenarios. It's still a win for you to look at new construction because of that and the warranties. And typically you get more incentives and closing costs covered and things of that nature. So like I always say, you can reach out to me if you have questions, because I would love to even just have a conversation with you to kind of iron out some of your thoughts and concerns. And if you're looking to move here, definitely utilize me for a resource. If you're looking to invest here, I work with a lot of investors that even buy new homes to, either rent them out or, do a long-term hold on them, and they have been very profitable. The equity gain alone in the last 24 months has been remarkable. So investing is definitely a great option in the Arizona market. We're very landlord friendly here. But yeah, if you're also looking to upgrade your home, sell your current existing home and getting to a new home, I also help with that too. So I hope everybody is having a phenomenal start to their new year. And like I always say, I'm an open book. Feel free to reach out. I'm always here for you guys. Take care.